Hey guys, and welcome to the normal Dimensius guide for pugs. So let's begin. The first thing you want to do before the boss fight is split the raid into 2 even groups. Meaning that if you're in a 20-man group, make sure that you have a tank, 2 healers and 7 DPS on each side. If you are a casual player that wants to experience this raid on normal difficulty, and you have eye level gear of 680, which is the minimum eye level people usually ask for in pugs, you can use the 1-button rotation. For some of you, this is better, especially if you don't know the rotation. I promise you, it's enough DPS. In my case, I always played as a tank, so as a DPS, I use a single button rotation and most of the time, I will be in the top half of the DPS. Just be careful as some abilities will not proc on Dimensius. You will get this target is too far away, and you just have to burn those abilities and push on. Okay, now that everything is set to start the fight, make sure that you wait for the pull timer to go down to 0 before you go through the portal. If you go through the portal, you will automatically start the fight and wipe the whole raid. To go through the portal, you have to use the extra action button that appears when you are close to the portal. Once the fight starts, tanks stay in melee range of the boss to avoid knockbacks. DPS focus on the void creatures that you see on the screen right now. When you kill these ads, they will drop an orb that you have to pick up. To pick up the orb, you just have to walk over it. I make sure I take the orb by standing on the ad before it dies, so it will immediately drop on me. If you are watching this video, I suggest you do the same, as most probably you are the only pug that looked up a guide before the fight. Once the ads are killed, move to the center and stack. The boss will use Devour and will try to suck the whole raid into him. If that happens, you all die. So what you want to do is make sure that everyone stands on the purple circle on the floor that spawns in the middle. If one of the orb carriers are not in the purple circle, all of the raid will be wiped out. The number of orbs must always be equal to the hunger boss buff. Good job! You just survived the first part of the boss. Now you will go to the assigned area where you were given at the start of the raid, whether it's left or right. Thanks, important that you stay in boss melee range. Okay, now what's going to happen is 4 ads will spawn in intervals on both sides. 2 will spawn first, then the other 2 will spawn later on. You will know that they will spawn because of the blue circles on the floor. Now, there will be a total of 4 orbs. When you get a purple circle under you, stay away from other players. The boss will spawn blue circles that you need to avoid. Once they trigger, you need to go in and soak the orb. If you are not an orb carrier, a small blue circle can spawn around you. Make sure that you move to the back of the platform because you will be knocked up and you will be pulled towards the boss. Orb carriers must go in the blue circle left on the floor to pull the players back down. If a giant blue circle spawns on the tank, it's important for the tank to move towards the middle of the platform. The boss will spawn another purple circle on the floor where your group has to stand on. Notice that you did not have to go to the middle this time. You only go in the middle at the start of the encounter. The rest of the fight, you always stay on the side. We have all 4 orb carriers with us, so we met the requirement and the boss will not pull us in. Most of the time you will be able to burn the boss before the next pull takes place. That was all for phase 1. When the boss goes down to 0%, you will start the intermission phase. When you are in the air, mount up as soon as possible. Don't just stand there. The game will then let you move and start going through the hoops until you arrive at the platform. Dodge any incoming meteorites. When you land on the platform, you will notice that there is an ad. You have to kill this ad. Make sure that it is at the front of the platform. The platform will be split into 4 sections. The first thing you need to do is kill one of the ads that spawned to open a passage from where you can walk through. This will be important for another mechanic. Dodge any frontal abilities the giant void walker casts. The boss will throw a giant planet at your group. Move to the opposite direction to where he is throwing. You will know which side he is throwing the planet based on which arm he pulls backwards. Stand on the furthest area available. After the blue stuff goes away, attack another Void Warden to create an opening for another boss mechanic. The reason why you want to kill it is because the boss will try to push you backwards. That's basically all the mechanics for this part. Once you defeat the giant ad, move on to the next platform. On the other platform, there will be another giant Void Walker. Make sure that you pull this ad to the front of the platform. The mechanics from the boss are still the same. The only difference is that this ad will not cast a frontal but an AoE circle that you need to dodge. Once you kill this ad, the third and final phase will start. The boss will be downed. At this point, pop Bloodlust and all your cooldowns because the boss will take 50% more damage for about 15 seconds. During this phase, planets will spawn around the boss and start rotating anti-clockwise. Make sure that you don't get hit by them. The boss will spawn 3 giant blue circles that after some time trigger and release giant circles. Stay close to the first one so that you get hit immediately. A debuff will be applied. Your job is to avoid stacking these debuffs and wait for them to go off before you get the next one. If you stack 2 debuffs on normal difficulty, it should still be fine. The boss will occasionally cast Devour. You will notice because the whole area will be covered in a blue giant swirl. Near the end of its cast time, go to one of the planets to avoid being sucked in. Planets can explode, so stay away from them. When they explode, they will become a black hole, and if anyone comes into contact with any black holes, they will be one-shot immediately. As a DPS and healer, it is important that you are not very close to the tank, as every time the boss hits the ground, he can knock you up and push you either into a black hole or into the boss, which is also a one-shot. That's basically the fight on normal difficulty. One last thing, in the spirit of pugging, make sure that you die on the attempt that you kill the boss. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video, leave it a like, comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to know when the next video will be released. Thanks and see you in the next one.